Hello everyone, in this video we're going to go over the solution for quiz 7. So in the first question we have that Amachir pours pancake batter onto a griddle. The pancakes are circular discs that are 0.5 inch thick. The volume of such pancake is going to be 0.4 pi r squared inches cubed, where r is the radius of the pancake in inches. So now if we let B1 and B2 represent the volume of a pancake when the radius are R1 and R2 respectively, and we have the differential of volumes and the differential of radius, we want to find a formula that expresses the change in volume in terms of the change in radius. This is going to look like differential of B is equal to some expression, differential of R. So the first thing that we do is establish what is the differential of B, which is going to be B2 minus B1. And we can consider that using this formula. So that's going to be 0.4 pi r squared. Because we're thinking of two different radius, we'll go with R2 squared and we'll go with R1 squared. Now, these units are in inches cubed, but you don't necessarily need to state those inches here. Now, when you get dV up to this point, you can now factor 0.4 pi, and you're going to get that this is R2 squared minus R1 squared. Then you can factor out, again, 0.5 pi, and you're going to get R1 plus R2 times R2 minus R1. This is the difference of the squares. So when you do that, then you're going to get that dV is just 0.4 pi R1 plus R2, and this is going to be the differential of R. So now we have the expression that we wanted. Now if we want to express that formula as the average rate of change, notice that we need to do dV dt in terms of dr dt, but that's simply dV dt is going to be the same thing, 0.4 pi R1 plus R2 dr dt. That's the only change that we're making. Now, the last part would be if we need to do something else to those particulars, function. In this scenario that we're working in our quiz for today, we don't need to do anything special, and that's the end of our particular question. However, notice that you might want to plug in here for different radius. You might plug when two radius are happening, and then you're gonna get a numerical value. But in here, that's all that we need. Now for question number 2, we have a boat that is being pulled towards a pier, and we have attached to a cable that is being reeled, and the reel is at the height of 15 feet. So this whole height is 15 feet. Now the cable originally is supposed to go with 50 feet long, so we can kind of calculate with a triangle what is the distance from the boat. This is A, this is the distance D, which is 50, and this is going to be 15, and we have a right triangle here. So by using the right triangle formula, we can know that 50 squared is equals to 15 squared plus A squared. And so from that we can calculate the original quantity, the original distance that the boat was from the pier. So let's calculate that, and that's going to give me this difference here. 50 squared minus 15 squared is going to give me 2,275, and that's going to be A squared. So now if I want to just get the square root of that, the square root of 2,275, then that's going to give me that A is 47.69. Or I can approximate this as 47.7. and that's gonna give me the initial distance from the boat. Now, for the second one, it says that the cable is originally 50 feet, but the cable is being reeled at the rate of 4 feet per second. So let's find out what happens after the first 2 seconds and the average velocity of the boat. So then what's happening is that I gotta find out a second D, and that second D is gonna be 50 minus, and then 4 feet per second is the amount that is being real, and after 2 seconds means that I'm gonna be doing 50 minus 8, so it's 42. And so that means that I'm gonna be finding out a new A, because this is gonna be now 42, this is still gonna be 15, and this is gonna be A. So we do exactly the same procedure that we did over here. So we're gonna find out that 42 square minus 15 square is going to be equals to A square, and then we take the square root of that to find out A. Now 42 square minus 15 square is going to be 1539. So this is 1539, and this A square. And so if I take the square root of that, I'm gonna find out that A is 39.2. But now what I want to find out is what is the average velocity of the boat on those 2 seconds. So what I'm really trying to find is what is the ADT. So the change in A with respect to the change in time. So initially it was 47.7 minus 39.2, and this was on 0 seconds, and this was in 2 seconds. So I get to have this change over here, okay? Which is going to be approximately this will be minus 8.46 divided by minus 2, and so that's going to be minus 4.23. And obviously, because this is in feet, this will be feet per second. And that's it. That's the solution to quiz 7.